Right, quick video outside HVAC unit, the air conditioner. You see that capacitor? That's the run capacitor for the condenser. I wanted to replace it because my neighbor, his actually was giving him trouble, his AC unit out here, and he's like, can I open up yours and make sure that all my wires like this are routed correctly? I was like, yeah, sure. So when we opened mine up, I noticed that this one was like that. And I replaced the one on the right, which is actually a dual run capacitor, or a dual capacitor. It's for starting and running, I think, maybe for fan and condenser. I think fan and condenser. Whereas the one on the left is the start for the condenser. So when I looked and saw it was all corroded like that, I'm like, well, I better replace that because that's going to go. So I got a new one today, and like a dummy, I hit the emergency breaker thing inside for the inside unit and completely forgot to trip this breaker. That little thing goes in here, up there, and so basically it still was connected. And then I go and I was like, well, I don't want to get shocked, so let me discharge this capacitor while it's hooked up. And I touched the screwdriver here to it, and as you can see, I think I wiped some of the char off, but that mark right here is from it shocking on one of the capacitors, this one. So it was still good, even though it looked like that, it was still good. But when I hit those two terminals, doesn't matter now, just all charred out, blown up. That looks charged too. Sorry, got interrupted. So you could see it's definitely charred out now, but I already had that replacement, and I hooked it back up and turned it on and it didn't work. And I'm like, oh my God, I must have fried something. There's not a lot of components though, but I'm like, oh my God, what a dumb mistake. I'm gonna cause like a emergency visit from an HVAC guy. It's gonna cost me a lot of money. I called up one of my stepson's friends who actually happens to work in HVAC. He told me he's done this before. He did it with pliers, so he actually got shocked, whereas thankfully I didn't, because I was holding this and it prevented the shock from hitting me. But it was loud and it was big and it just blew kind of right there. Oh, you could see char marks right there from where it hit. So anyhow, he was like on the phone when I was talking to him, telling him what happened. He's like, did you check the breaker, circuit breaker inside? And I'm like, I didn't even think of that. Sure enough, I get in there and the air conditioning one is tripped. What a great system. But I just am not that great with electric, and I didn't even think to check that. So hooked everything back up and was working. Seemed to be good to go. I had this relay out because I knew that these are connected to the relay, and I thought maybe that could be causing an issue. Maybe I should proactively replace this relay, and I should replace that end of the wire there, because look, as you can see, it was all corroded because it was hooked up to that crappy condenser, and all that corrosion caused half of that connector to break off right there. So I have to get a new little wire, because eventually the other side, I guess, will fail too. So other than that though, I think I'm good to go. Fan goes on, everything goes on. Cassius says hi. Hi Cassius. Oh no, get back, get back. He normally doesn't come out here. His first time out by himself. He's a beast. He's huge, but he's only one. He's just a big boy. His sister's little. So anyhow, I think I'm good to go. So if you ever have something like this happen, think to check the circuit breaker inside, because you might have tripped it and you might save yourself an emergency visit by an HVAC guy if you happen to do something stupid like I did. So moral of the story, check the breaker. Also check this outside breaker. Make sure you pull that, or else it's still active and you could do what I did. All right, like and subscribe. See you guys.